Welcome back, brother, for my module 4 in Basics of Tantric Sexuality for Men. And today we're going to talk about separating orgasm and ejaculation. And why is it so important? Because if they are linked and you ejaculate and have an orgasm, that's wonderful, but that's pretty much end of the sex. And usually men take 5 to 10 minutes on average to ejaculate an orgasm. Maybe some men 15-20 minutes maximum, but most women take minimum 20 minutes to 40 minutes to have an orgasm. In Taoist Chinese tradition, they explain this situation as elements, and women are like water and men are like fire when it comes to sexuality. So if you want to warm up a huge pot of water, it will take some time, right? You need to put the fire on. Even if it's a huge fire, it will take a lot of time for this huge water to boil. And this is how women are. And we men, we are like fire. Instantly we can get turned on, instantly we can get fired up. So if you want to satisfy your partner, you need to take this into consideration and therefore give her time and give her long times of foreplay and stimulation and massage and penetration as well, so that she can start having a lot of pleasure and a lot of orgasms. So have you ever thought about a time where you had an ejaculation but not an orgasm? When you were very tired, when you were sleeping, there's no pleasure, but the sperm comes out. Or maybe you ejaculate so many times, one after another on a strike, and then in the end you ejaculate one more time, but there's almost no pleasure, no orgasm therefore. And if yes, then it proves that ejaculation and orgasm are managed by different parts of our brain. So which means they don't have to go together. They can be separated. So therefore you can have an orgasm and not an ejaculation, and that's very possible, but it will take some time for you to get there. All right? So, and this is really a very important key in Tantra. Many men like me, my friends, my students, my teachers, they had access to this orgasm without ejaculation. Well, or sometimes it's called multi-orgasmic, because you can have one orgasm after another without ejaculation. Women can have it too. Women actually can have it easier. So for you to be able to have that, you need two major steps. One is retention, the other is sublimation. Retention, I mean retaining your sperm. Catch a hold of your sperm. Don't ejaculate. But if you just want to do this and don't do the sublimation, which is the second step, you're going to probably fail, because you need to move this energy up. If you don't move this energy upwards, the rest of your torso, the rest of your body, to your head, then this local pressure will make it very, very difficult not to ejaculate, and you will explode like a balloon, like boom, like you're accumulating energy. At some point, just a little pin can easily blow this balloon off. So, and therefore you need sublimation. And these two are like the two wings of a bird. If you want to fly, you need two wings. Retention is one and sublimation is the other. Only sublimation alone will also not help you. So you need to also have good sense of retention. All right. Sublimation is a little bit more difficult. So I will talk about it, deliver it in the later modules of this course. So first, primarily, we are focusing on retention. So it's also good to go one by one. But at this point, I want you to see this graph, the pleasure curve, okay? So what happens when we have an intercourse, when we have sex, you can include the foreplay here too, is that first we started having some pleasure and the time passes, okay? So time is moving and pleasure is increasing. You see the blue line here is where we are having a masculine orgasm, and we go ejaculate and then we go all the way down. Okay, this is the point of no return. So if you cross the point of no return, well, the name tells it, you cannot return. You ejaculate, and that's the end of it. Like, you need minimum, if you're a super duper guy, like minimum 1 minute to recover and have an erection again and start penetration again. And most often this is 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on your age, on your health and your fitness levels. Could be even 12 hours or 1 day to have a successful erection again. So here in Tantra, we are trying to have what I call a feminine type of orgasm, where you kind of stop before going to the point of no return, like here, and you raise up, again come close to the point of no return and slow down, and then go up again before crossing the point of no return, drop your pleasure levels again, and then you kind of play with it. You're edging with it, okay? This is also called a valley orgasm, all right? So, and this is basically can be described most easily by categorizing orgasms as masculine orgasms and feminine orgasms. A masculine orgasm is just going over the top and just exploding, something very intense, very strong, like an express train is crossing the station. It's like whoosh. It's very quick, right? It's like 5-10 seconds, very good. Okay, it's better than not having an orgasm. Like if you have a medical condition that you can't even have an orgasm, then first you need to learn how to have this kind of an orgasm. But if you're already having it, there's something better on the menu, and that's the feminine type of orgasms, where you can last as long as you want, as long as your vitality, your fitness level enables you to. Because after some time you will not ejaculate, but you will get tired at some point. But that's a minor problem compared to ejaculating, exploding, and losing everything. And by the way, a woman can have a masculine orgasm or a feminine orgasm too. Like if she's having a clitoral explosive type of orgasm, and then she's like, oh, I can't continue this anymore, or give me a cigarette, like I need to rest 5 minutes. Some women are like that, but most women will be multi-orgasmic, meaning taking one after another after another. And these type of orgasms are quite different in their nature. Because, okay, if you cross the point of no return, let's say you have 100% pleasure. You have 100%, maybe 105, 110% pleasure, and then very quickly it drops down to 5%, 10%, 0%, or something like that. In feminine orgasms, we are having 60 to 80 or maybe 90% of pleasure for a long time. Okay, so it's kind of you're not giving what your brain wants to have. Our brain is wired to have this 100% pleasure, ejaculate, and procreate. But we are masters of our body, right? We are masters of our brain, and we can change this. So, but you need to try this as an experiment and just satisfy yourself with 60, 70, 80% of pleasure for a long time, okay? And your brain will go crazy when you do that. You will have to have a strong argument with your brain. Like put a gun against your brain and say, you listen to what I say, okay? I am the boss here. Take out all the money or something like that. You are gonna be okay with this kind of sex. I'm not gonna give you orgasm. But what happens is your brain is clever. After some point, it will get the orgasm that it's wanting, craving so much, and by increasing your point of no return. So you can have more pleasure and still not ejaculate, because your point of no return is now higher on the bar. You can have more pleasure and still keep going and still keep playing with it. All right, so do the math. Instead of having 10 seconds of 100% pleasure, you can have 80 to 95% of pleasure actually for 20 minutes. That's much more pleasure when you compare it. So this is a very different type of having pleasure, okay? So, and there are different type of orgasms coming along the way. Multiple orgasms, meaning you can have whole body orgasm, a prostate orgasm, a coregasm where you have orgasm in your abdominal area. You can have a heart orgasm where your heart is crack open and you're in love with all creation, all life. You can have a brain orgasm or orgasm on chakras. So all of these things are along the way waiting for you if you are persistent enough and patient enough and try and do your best, okay? So, and this kind of feminine kind of orgasms is the trick, is the secret to be a multi-orgasmic lover. So you can keep going as much as you want, and your woman will be much more satisfied as well. All right, so you are with me for a while, and I see that you're taking it serious. You came to this module, and I want to give you a homework now. And I will keep giving you homeworks. You will get orgasms too, for sure. You will keep getting homeworks from me. This is the first one. So go back to module 3, the previous one, and check how was Ashwini Mudra. It's an anal contraction. Remember, I was teaching you how to contract your anal muscles. So do it 5 minutes every day. There are 3 different types of doing it. Like you can do pumps, you can do 4, 4, 4, 4 with 4 seconds each, like squeeze, hold, relax, and hold when it's not squeezed, when it's relaxed. And then on the third one, you just squeeze it and hold it as long as you can. 1 minute, 2 minutes, just experiment. And go back to module 3 again and do all the breathing practices. Remember to isolate the belly breathing and isolate the ribcage breathing, and then combine them both. Okay, so if you get used to them, you can apply these techniques during sex easily. So this is why we do a lot of practices outside of the bedroom. All right, so I'll see you in the next module. Enjoy yourself.